Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexei, and today I have a special guest, John Brandt. John is a professional acoustic sound designer who helps professional studios create professional acoustic treatment. So, since my YouTube channel is mainly for beginners, I decided to interview John so my audience could know more about acoustic design. I will put a link to John's YouTube channel and to John's official website, so you can learn more about John Brandt and about his amazing and wonderful work. And I want to thank John for such a wonderful interview, for being on my YouTube channel. It was a huge honor talking to you. And I really hope that you like this interview and you will find it useful for yourself. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. My first question is how you became a sound engineer.
When I was in high school, I bought a Hofner bass, just like Paul McCartney had. That was only let's see, 69, 70, 71. I graduated in 71. And I was going to go to music college. And I got a job offer from a band, ended up touring. So off I went, starting in 1971. I ended up in, where was it? I was in Boston in 72. Yeah, I think it was 72. I don't remember, actually. I haven't written any of this down. And got a message from a friend who'd gone to, who was working in Paris. And they were working with a new band for the Guy show. It was like a put together band, by the TV company, and they need some sound guy. And I'm coming. So they sent me a ticket, and I was in Europe, and I spent about 7 years in Europe. Ended up working with Jeremy Spencer of Fleetwood Mac in 74, and for a year and a half. And then I did a lot of traveling. Ended up, I met my first wife. She was on holiday in Greece, and then we went to England and stayed there for 2 to 3 years or something like that. And it didn't last long. I was young and an idiot. But all through this, I was doing music, doing band and stuff, and I was playing. Jeremy gave me a slide, so I learned slide guitar, and we're still in touch, by the way. He lives in Ireland. Anyway, I was in England, lived in the Midlands, in Leicester. So I was in Europe for a while and working in studios, and I was playing in the clubs, and I was playing with several bands. And man, I used to go busking with Rick Greck. Me and Rick would cruise the pubs in Leicester. Rick Greck was the bass player in Blind Faith with Eric Clapton, and he was my busk mate. Called me up, asked me if he want to go busking tonight. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Said, we get plastered, we get drunk because we go and drink in the pub and sing through the pub and collect, and it was just fun, I didn't need to do that, but it was just a fun thing to do. Anyway, learned all about acoustics and physics on my own, basically, because I studied at home. Got all the books, electronics books. I ended up designing a bunch of gear for a lot of the stars in Nashville when I went back to the States. Let's see, I built gear for Paul Simon and Billy Gibbons and Mark O'Connor and a whole bunch of people. Fitted out a lot of studios. I went through Nashville trying to correct ground loops forever. All the studios in Berry Hill, where Blackbird Studio now sits, I worked on a lot of those little studios and fixed their problems, made them custom gear and whatnot. Started helping with, started doing acoustic designs in early 80s. And then through, what was it? I did a little studio for Byron Gallimore. He was Faith Hill and Tim McGraw's producer. That's all. I mean, everything that I'm telling you about is gone now. It's all changed. I just learned my craft, you know, and it takes a long time. Sometimes, I don't know, I feel like I'm slower than most. It took me longer than most. But I tend to be a do everything guy. And I did building and construction, etc., the whole 9 yards, everything to do with studios. So I know about everything, really, the ventilation, the electrical, the soundproofing, and the acoustics, and the electronics as well. I've been following Bill Whitlock for years and years and years. And when he did some tests and came up with a paper in 2010 about twisting the live and the neutral. And I have been doing that for all my studio designs ever since. It's really, really amazing. It's really a marvelous solution to all the noise problems that people run into when they wire studios. And I've often commented, I don't know if you've noticed, that most studios are wired wrong. It's true. And they have one problem after another because of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So my next question is how you became acoustic design expert.
I don't know. You screw up about 10 to 20 studios and then you learn. Honestly, that is the honest answer. You go and you do it. That's how you find out if you're on the right path or not. Today, the studios I'm designing today are the best that I've ever done. And they're by far better than anything that has been done by anyone, I think. There are a few designers that I would recommend. You know Thomas Jean-Jean from Northwood Acoustics?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's one that I would recommend. I think Sam Burkow is pretty good, but I got to test out some of the things that he does. Physically, have it tested. And I don't want to get any of my clients to do that yet. I have the data from tests from my designs and builds and from others and that I can compare and go, okay, yeah, we solved a few problems here. I also have a solution for floor bounce, but it's not cheap. You have to dig a hole.
Thank you so much. How to treat your home studio acoustically?
Okay. Well, if you're just starting out and your room is maybe less than ideal, put some panels up and done. Don't go chasing after an elusive mist or dream that cannot be real. The design ideas that are promoted on the internet, mostly bullshit. From old designers covering their asses. They go, well, this is the way we do it. And, when anybody complains, they'll say, well, no room is perfect. I've heard this is direct from some of the most famous studio designers in the world. This is what we've heard them say. This is notes from their clients. I've gotten them. Serious. When I have a question from my clients that say, John, I have a problem with this for you. We got this dip here. What do I say? I say, let's test it. Let's figure it out. We work on it. Okay. Especially my older clients. That's just what we've been doing. My new clients, we haven't had those problems anymore because the designs are better, and they incorporate certain elements that you must have in a mixing room if you're going to be accurate. Otherwise, you're just dealing with a little bubble about as big as your head, and you have to fit your head in it and stay there. Don't move. You bend over to twist the EQ. You twist the EQ according to what you're hearing when you're leaning over like this. You come back, oh shit, it's wrong. And you have to go back and forth. It's nuts. Why spend any money on a designer when you end up like that? Why spend any money on a studio design or the actual build of it when it ends up like that? Why? Why bother? DIY design is like I don't know, DIY brain surgery kit. You know, when you want a new car, if you want a new car, what do? You get out your graph paper and you start drawing wheels and the motor and the pistons and designing it. Do you do that? No. You go down to the guy on the corner. He's got the new cars there or the used cars, whatever you can afford. Go get that. It's good. They pass inspection. They go fast. They get you to work and back. You know, they work. But this DIY design shit is like, you know, Sparky and the Gang, you know, or, you know, what was it called? The Gang. I think it was the old the old black and white movie from the 30s, 40s. The little kids playing together, you know, they make the push car with a box and some carriage wheels and stuff like that. I mean, geez, come on. That's what most people's studios are. And DIY designed home studios are death traps, really, because if you close the door and you're in there working and you fall asleep, you might wake up dead because you're just going to breathe up all the oxygen because there's no ventilation.
Thank you so much. So my next question is what people should keep in mind before starting treating their studios acoustically.
What you're describing is a tracking room where creation is done. You do not create sounds in a control room or a mix room unless you're unless you're putting together beats or you're playing your keyboard or something in creating a sound, right? But you don't create that sound in the room. You're creating that electronically in the control room. If you are looking for a sound from a control room or mix room, you don't care about accuracy. You don't care about how the sound that you hear on your speakers prints to tape and how it translates to other rooms. You just want to hear a certain thing. And that the same goes for the typical audiophile room or maybe a home theater where they don't care if it kind of booms at certain frequencies. They're just going to want to enjoy their movies, okay? It doesn't matter. That's not professional. It's not, I wouldn't say not professional, but it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you to make a better record, okay? But a tracking room where you play your guitar, piano, string section, whatever you're doing in the room, it needs to be made so that it works with a multitude of instruments and voices, and you can make it, it's like a paint palette, okay? Where you can put any color background on, like you could start with a white canvas, you could start with a blue canvas or anything, whatever you want for this creation that you hear in your head, you know, or like the image you see in your head when you're a painter. You know, I got this, okay, I'm going to start with black, and then you paint all your stuff on top. This is your tracking room needs to be like that bare canvas. So be able to paint it black or blue or green or red or just white, and then get the colors that you want to pop. So a tracking room needs to support a lot of little areas where you can get that sound. The sound that I'm looking for my acoustic guitar is over there close to this certain trap over next to that wall there, and play there, and I'll set up the mic like this because I've done it many, many times. Okay, I know how to get that sound. The drums, I want them to really crack and snap. I'll put them right next to that hard rock wall that we have. You know, that kind of stuff. That's a tracking space. Also, with a tracking space, you need enough fall off. In other words, you need a lot of trapping, believe it or not. You don't want an echoey room at all. But you need enough trapping so you can put the drum kit there, you can put the keyboard player here, you can put the guitarist here, and you can put a vocalist in there and record them all at the same time. I mean, how did the Beatles record? Think about it. The Rolling Stones, all these famous bands that really have had that magic happen. They did it all at once. Mm-hmm. They did, because they got the groove, you know? And I mean, look at, I'm thinking of, you know, new, recent pop groups and whatnot. But anyway, you get my drift, yes. I hope. Yes. So you need a tracking room like that. Now your control room, on the other hand, you look at the other side. A control room is a reference system. It's like your color grading. You're color grading photographs and movies, making sure the white balance is correct, make sure the reds and the blues and everything is correct, right? So what you do, you purchase one of the best color grading monitors there is. It's a precision calibrated screen, absolutely precision, okay? It's not tinted a little blue or green or red or anything. The white and black balance are not off. The blacks are just like complete darkness, and the whites are nice and white, pure white, all colors. That's what you need. A control room is exactly like that. Has to be true. So if you're getting comb filters from any sides or walls or anything, or reflections or distractions, that's colors. That's all kinds of blurry stuff going on, and you can't hear. Most people in most studios, I'm saying most studios in the whole world, can't hear the bass. They can't hear anything below 250 hertz. You can't adjust your compression level on the vocal just right, because you can't really hear how it compresses, because your room is already compressing because you don't have the right treatment. All kinds of stuff.
So my next question is how acoustic design affects the sound in the studio.
Good acoustic design makes it easy for you to do your job, period. That's it. That's all it is. My job is to make your job so much easier. That's all. That's all. I'm just here for you guys. Oh, you know, it's like take your car to a good mechanic, you know, right? He'll fix it, he'll tune it up, he'll get it purring just perfectly. That's my job. That's all. That's it.
Thank you so much. So my next question is how to treat my room acoustically if I mix by using headphones only.
Don't worry about it. You don't need any acoustic treatment if you're using headphones. If you don't have speakers, don't worry about it. A lot of people have to do that. I mean, myself, I've got, where's my kid? Oh, I've got these Biodynamic, the 1990s. They're fantastic. I hear things in them that I can't hear in speakers. Of course, this room is shit. This room is for, you know, AutoCAD design. even though I'm speaking to you with a Soyuz microphone. So, but I like my toys because that's what they are now. I'm done with the other end of it anymore. I'm building a studio though. I'm building a studio over our store here locally. Up on the second floor, it's a display. So it's going to work. And I even, I have a friend in, where's he at now? Well, he's I think he's Serbian or something. Anyway, he's worried about things going on there. He wants to maybe move his family here because he does a lot of online work. He can do his work online. I say, I'll rent you the studio cheap, you know, because it's a display thing. Of course, all of our treatment we put in there. We got my speakers I'm putting in there. Got these the subs. We got mics, and I got a few processors. So we're going to put it in there to show people how the stuff works in a real deal. And, you know, offered him that he could come and work work there if he wants.
So my next question is a little bit stupid, but still I want to risk to ask it.
No such thing. No such thing. The only dumb question or only stupid question is the one that is not asked. Okay? Always ask questions and tell your the people who watch you that always question everything, especially the supposed experts like myself. I mean, I'm not an authority. I refuse to be labeled with the word authority. I'm not. You see all the bumps on my head is from running and hitting that brick wall so many times. And if you make enough mistakes, you hit that brick wall a few times, you go, oh, okay, that doesn't work. I'm going to tell everybody about that. That's how you become an expert.
Yes.
So yeah, ask questions, please.
So my next question is, where should you place your monitors in the studio? And in this case, to get a good low end, something like that.
Usually lack of bass response is caused by comb filtering from hard wall reflections. You do want to have a good speaker placement. I have a guide. I have lots of documents on my resources page. Go there. I've got speaker placement drawing, where to place your speakers. It's basically, it's a formula. It is all of this, everything, even acoustic, the design of the treatment stuff. It's all physics. It's all it is. Every bit of it. And this is another reason that I do not recommend DIY design, because most people really don't understand physics.
Thank you so much. And my final question is, should I calibrate my headphones and monitors for better mixes?
In order to calibrate, you must have a fixed reference. And you must do it in an environment where it follows a certain reference. And a small room, like small room acoustics or small control rooms, or even a lot of tracking rooms, they're small room acoustics. There are no diffuse fields in these rooms. There is no RT60 in these rooms. There's no reverberation time in these rooms. It's called mean free time because of the mean free path. We cannot get a diffuse field, and therefore we cannot get a substantially even measurement, especially at low frequencies. Imagine this. You have to think of sound in 3D. Okay? You have an enclosure like this, and it's not that big. So you reproduce a low bass tone. Where are your pressure points in that room for that low bass tone? At one frequency, very low frequency, you might have one pressure point, and it's up towards that corner over there. And that's it. There's no other pressure points in the room. That's it over there. So if you measure here, 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 you're going to get a sort of a different level at any time. Okay. As the frequency raises, you get more pressure points in the room. And so you put your mic here, and it measures this, and then move it over here, and you're in a pressure point of a certain frequency, and you get a level there. You see what I'm saying? So it's all over the place. It's very difficult to get an average or to get an idea of what really is happening in that room because of all these reflection issues. So what you have to do, you have to control the sound, severely control the sound in a mix room to get it so that it's any semblance of accuracy. Yeah, you cannot calibrate your monitors in your room. Maybe if you have a nice wheat field behind your home, you could set them up pointing towards the wheat field and then put the measurement mic about, I don't know, a meter or so from them, and then run your little test and calibrate. But it's already been done in the factory where they make them. It's done, and if you boost a frequency where the room is causing a dip because of the reflections, you're just overtaxing the amplifier. It's going to distort.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a huge pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. See you. Bye.